Good day, everyone. You will have another topic for this day. Our target is to talk about fundamental counting principle. So, on some of the learning resources, it is called as FCP or fundamental principle of counting. So, no matter what is, let us learn about this. So our objectives for this day is first to recall factorial notation because it is very helpful for us to solve the fundamental counting principle. We're going to illustrate it and we're going to apply it on problem solving. So let's start with the factorial notation. So let me read with you the definition. It is a product of all positive integers less than or equal to n. So let me have the important terms that we need to remember. So the first thing is product. So once we say product, we're talking about the operation which is multiplication. And ano ba ang minumultiply po natin? We will multiply positive integers. So once we say positive integers, we are talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. But may condition. Ang sabi dito, less than or equal to n. Because basically, the symbol of factorial notation is this one. So that is read as n factorial. So commonly, yung ibang mga estudyante, sinasabi yan yung number na madamdamin kasi may exclamation point which is integrated in English. But that is read as n factorial. And the value of n should always be greater than or equal to 0. So please remember that. So paano natin napapakita yung positive integers less than or equal to n? So let me give you the first example. Let's say we have here 3 factorial. Again, it is read as 3 factorial. Once we expand this, you will have 3 times 2 times 1. Kasi nga, base nga dun sa definition, positive integers less than the value of n, wherein our n here is equal to 3. At kung mapapansin ninyo, nag-start tayo kay 3, then 2, and 1. Kasi nga, less than the value of n. So, product multiplication. And then, we will always end up with 1. Hindi dapat tayo mag-end up kay 0 kasi nga sa definition, positive integers lamang ang involved. And logically speaking, any number multiplied by 0, the answer there is 0. So the answer here for the 3 factorial is simply 6. So 3 times 2 is 6 times 1, so that is 6. I hope that's clear with everyone. Let's proceed to the next example. It also involves the 4 fundamental operations. So, pwede ring mag-addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So, let's try this. 3 factorial plus 2 factorial. So, hindi yan basta-basta 5 factorial. Kasi may ibang value si 3 factorial, may iba ding value si 2 factorial. So, if we're going to expand this, the 3 factorial is equivalent with 3 times 2 times 1. Plus the 2 factorial, that is 2 times 1. Then simplify ninyo yung bawat terms. So the 3 factorial is equal to 6 and 2 factorial is equal to 2. So simply add those two addends, we will have 8. Okay? Next example. Let's have 3 factorial times 2 factorial. So kanina, addition ang involved. Right now, we will multiply. So we have, again, expand 3 factorial, which is 3 times 2 times 1, as well as 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. Simplify those. We will have 6 times 2. That is simply 12. Then another example. Let's now have a division. What if we have 3 factorial divided by 2 factorial? So, ganun ulit ang gagawin natin. So, expand nyo lang ulit. So, 3 factorial, that is 3 times 2 times 1, all over the 2 factorial, which is 2 times 1. So, balikan natin yung basic skills natin. If we have this kind of situation, we're going to cancel common factors. So, pag sinabi natin common factors, yung common number doon sa numerator and the denominator. So, doon ka pwedeng mag-cancel kasi multiplication ang involved. So, cancel natin si 2 kasi common factor natin yun as well as 1. So, as you can notice, only 3 is remaining, which means the answer there is 3. Okay? So, I hope that's clear. But if you have a calculator with you, specifically a scientific calculator, you can simply input these factorial notations. Just take note of the symbols. So may tatlong klaseng symbol kasi doon sa calculator, or other than that, basta pag nakakita kayo ng exclamation point, it pertains to factorial notation. Now, on my scientific calculator downloaded on my phone, let me zoom this with you. So, by this case, as you can notice, andito siya. Itong x factorial na to, on top of this x raised to -1 button. And as you can notice, it is color yellow. So, which means, once you're using a calculator, kailangan mong pindutin yung shift. Kasi yun yung yellow. Ibig sabihin, para magamit mo yung function na to na nasa taas, kailangan mo munang pindutin yung shift. So, we have different cases for our calculators. Just continue to explore it. So, let's proceed now to our main topic, which is the fundamental counting principle. So, what is this? So, once we say FCP, it is a way to figure out the total number of ways different events can occur. Sa madaling salita, ang pinag-usapan natin dito is all the possibilities that we could have for a certain event to happen. So, there are a lot of things that may happen in our lives. Now, in making such a solution or in making such decision, niisip natin lahat ng possibilities. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C. Pero in totality, ilan lahat yon? So, ganun ang fundamental counting principle in our lives. So, let's have this first example. In an ice cream house, there were 2 kinds of cone, the sugar cone and the plain cone, and 3 flavors of ice cream. In how many ways can Alex match 1 flavor of ice cream and the cone? So, take note of this. Ano-ano ang dapat, ano yung pinag-uusapan natin dito? So, we have here the 2 kinds of cone, particularly the sugar cone and the plain cone. I hope you could distinguish the difference between the two. Later on, mapapakita ko sa inyo through a picture. And as well as, we have 3 flavors of ice cream. So, ang kailangan nating malaman ay, in how many ways can you make an ice cream out of these events? So, let me have here an illustration. Again, the given are the 2 types of cone. We have here the plain cone. Ito yung parang sa McDonald's. And then the sugar cone. Commonly, nakikita natin to doon sa mga naglalako ng ice cream or doon sa 7-Eleven. And we have here the 3 different flavors of ice cream. I have here the vanilla, the chocolate, and ube. So, ima-match up natin siya. So, meron tayong 3 klase ulit flavor ng ice cream. Tapos, unahin muna natin yung plain cone. Ilan ang magagawa natin? So, by this case, we have 3 ways. Then, another cone, ito yung sugar cone. So, 3 ulit yung flavor ng ice cream natin. So, magkakaroon ulit tayo ng 3 ways for this type of cone. So, in totality, pag sinabi nating fundamental counting principle, we are getting the product. So, the common operation involved here is multiplication. And the events involved here are 2 kinds of cone and the 3 flavors of ice cream. So, you're just going to multiply it, like what I've said a while ago. The common operation is multiplication. So, 2 times 3, so that is 6. So, kanina, nung in-illustrate natin siya, malinaw naman na 3 ways plus 3 ways, so that is 6 ways. So in shorter way, using the fundamental counting principle, i-multiply mo lang in 2 events, we could simply have this as 6 ways. So I hope that's very clear with everyone. Let me proceed to the next example. And this is a different way. Chris has 7 different books, but his bookshelf can only occupy 5 books. In how many ways can he arrange those books in the shelf? So, ang kailangan nating i-take note dito ay ilang libro ang meron siya. Okay? So, sabi, 7 different books. Kaya lang, 5 lang daw ang kasya doon sa bookshelves. So, kung kukuha siya, tapos ibabalik rin niya, at kung ayusin niya in different ways, ilan lahat yun? So, let us have this illustration. So, ito muna. Let's have this drawing. Limbawa, sa shelf na yan. Tapos, ang kailangan lang daw ay 5 libro. So, let us have 5 blanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now, on this very first location, ilan ang pinagpipilian nating libro? Ilan ba lahat ng libro? According to the problem, we have 7 different books. So, there are 7 books, 7 different books ang pinagpipilian for the first position. So, let's say nakapag lagay ka na dyan. Okay? So, para mas malinaw, halimbawa, we have book A, book B, C, D, E, F, and G. So, we have 7 different books here. So, halimbawa, nakapili ka na ng isa. So, tanggalin natin yung isa. Ilan na lang ang natitira? So, we only have 6. So, ang mga natitira na yun, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So, that is for the second location. Another one, doon sa third location natin, syempre, mababawasan ulit tayo ng isa. Ilan na lang ang matitira? We will only have 5. So those are C, D, E, F, and G. Okay? And then, another one, as you can notice, di ba pabawas ng pabawas yung ating multipliers. So, after 5, we will have 4 kasi mababawasan ulit ng isa yung ating options. So, magiging D, E, F, G. And then, for the last position, may matitira na lang 3, which are E, F, and G. If we've chosen the book D. Okay, so we're going to illustrate it. And then, katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, our common operation here is multiplication. So, you're just simply multiply it. So, 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3. What do you think is the answer? Okay, so the answer there is 2,520 ways. So that's how you solve that kind of problem. So imagine it, kung makakailang klase ka ng arrangement doon sa shelf na yun, there are a lot of ways. Okay? So another one. Another example is, how many ways can 5 paintings be lined up on a wall? So in some houses, nagde-decorate tayo ng different paintings. So let's have this picture. I have here 5 paintings. Pero ang usapan kasi dito, be lined up on a wall. So let's have it horizontal. So katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, we will have 5 blanks. Because all the paintings are involved. Hindi katulad kanina, may enough spaces lang. So by this case, lahat involved yung 5 paintings. So for the first position, ilan pa ang pinagpipilian natin dito? So we have here 5. And then once we locate 1, mababawasan yung options natin. So magiging 4, and then magiging 3, and then 2, and 1. So, ang basic operation natin again here is multiplication. So, as you can notice, 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 could be written as, in shorter way, yun yung 5 factorial. Kaya dun pumapasok yung factorial notation na 5 factorial. So, ano bang sagot saan? The answer there is 120. So, there are 120 ways for you to arrange those 5 different paintings horizontally in a wall. Okay? Last example. For decades now, the plate numbers of cars in the Philippines come in 3 letters and 3 digits format. So commonly, ganyan tayo nag-start doon sa ating plate numbers here in the Philippines, as you can notice. So, ganyan ang itsura. Tama po ba? Kasi sa ngayon, dahil na-consume na lahat ng possibilities for that case, nagiging 2 letters na lang and then 4 numbers. So, bilangin natin lahat ng possible ways of arrangement. So, let's have this first situation. How many license plates in this format are possible? As you can notice, wala tayong restrictions. Ang sinabi lang, ilan lahat ng possibilities. Okay? At ano ba ang involved? Sabi, we have 3 letters and we have 3 digits format. So, meron tayong dalawang considerations. Yung letters muna. So, tatlong letters. So, these are for the letters. And then, another 3 for the digits or the numbers. In an English alphabet, ilan ba lahat? How many letters do we have in an English alphabet? So, we have 26. So, ibig sabihin, dahil walang restrictions na binanggit dito sa problem na to, lahat pwedeng, pwede nating ilagay. Kasi pwedeng maulit yung letters. Tama po ba? Pwedeng maulit ang letters in a plate number. Ganun din dun sa digits. So, sa digits, ang pinag-uusapan natin dito ay hindi lang tayo nag-start kay 1, kundi meron ding 0. So, 0 is also involved. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Ilan ba lahat itong options natin na to? So, we have 10 digits. So, ibig sabihin, lahat yan ay possible na makita natin sa isang plate number. Okay? So, again, itong letters na to, sulat ko lang. So, that is from A to Z. So, commonly, ang operation natin ay multiplication. So, multiply mo lang yan. 26 times 26 times 26 times 10 times 10 times 10. The answer is sobrang dami. We have here 17,576,000. So, napakadami. Imaginein mo ilang sasakyan na yan. Okay? So, that is our answer. So, there are a lot of plate numbers that could be made on that problem. So, how about for this kind of situation? So, for letter B, same scenario pa rin. We're talking about plate numbers of cars in the Philippines, common 3 letters and 3 digits format. But how about kung distinct? Pag sinabi nating distinct ay hindi pwedeng maulit yung numbers at saka yung letters. So, repetition is not allowed. So, paano po iyon? So, i-illustrate ulit po natin. So, meron ulit tayong 3 letters. So, yung letters na ang options natin is from A to Z. And then, meron ulit tayong digits na ang options po natin ay from 0 up to 9. Okay? So for the first position of the letter, we still have 26. Kasi lahat pwede pa. And then once you chose already one, so mababawasan na yung options natin. So magiging 25 na lang to. So 25 letters na lang ang pinagpipilian natin. And then another one, so we will have 24. So nabawasan ulit. Okay? Now for these digits, ang una natin ay 10. Bawasan ulit ng isa, 9. Then less than 1 again, so we will have 8. And then you're just going to multiply it. Okay? So let's try 26 times 25 times 24 times 10 times 9 times 8. So we will have, kung papansin niyo, bawas na. Kasi nga, these are the plate numbers na bawal maulit ang letters at saka ang numbers. So we will only have 11,232,000. So madami pa din. Okay? So imagine niyo na-consume na yan, lahat yan. That's why the format of our plate numbers currently is nabago na. So meron na lamang 2 letters and then 4 digits. Okay, so that is fundamental counting principle. Let me end this video lesson with this quote. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react, by George Bernard Shaw. With that, thank you so much and God bless us all.